Hello everyone and welcome to Stefan's podcast, the only podcast for everything Japanese news and what's going on in the big wide world. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. We have got some great news stories for you, so let's jump straight into it. Our first news story is about lodging taxes. They are in many places in Japan, but they are looking like it's going to be even more widespread in Japan, with approximately 92 towns and cities considering putting these into places, which is a terrible thing for everyone traveling around. This doesn't help anyone really, it just increases the cost of going to different places. I have had to stay in places in Japan where they have these taxes, and let me tell you, everywhere that I've had to stay, I have not enjoyed paying for these. In Fukuoka I've had to pay for it, in Kyoto I've had to pay for it, and possibly Nagasaki City I've had to pay for it? Not entirely sure, but this is not fun. The worst thing about it, when you read the news story, you sort of think this is just for like international tourists who come and stay. But no, even local tourists have to pay these. For example, I live in Tsushima, a little island. If I want to go to the mainland for the weekend, I have to pay for these taxes, which sucks. This is just a way for the government to make more money for doing nothing. Basically, they don't have to provide any more services whatsoever. They just get a cut off every single hotel stay that happens there. Meanwhile, they're also getting what, VAT on top of that, any other tax. So this sucks, and I don't like that all these places are looking at putting them in. They are so small. It's like 200 yen per night, but they add up. They add up and up and up and up and up. Especially if you look at the Kyoto case, where they are charging depending on the cost of your hotel, and it can go up to pretty high. I think even in the top band, was it like 10,000 yen or 1,000 yen? It is very, very expensive once you get to the higher bracket of those hotel stays. So I'm not happy about this. I think this is awful decision. It is interesting to note that actual Japanese people are not going to Kyoto anymore because of various reasons. One of it is hotel prices. The hotels there are absolutely through the roof, and the other one is that there's too many international tourists there that's putting them off. They're going to different places. But a big thing for me is the cost of hotels. Like, for me, if I want to go to Fukuoka, it's so expensive on the weekend already. If they increased their like local tax for having to stay in the hotel, or the lodging tax, it would just put me off whatsoever. I mean, I haven't stayed in Fukuoka since I had to go and take my test, which was the beginning of summer. Before that, I hadn't stayed in Fukuoka since the beginning of the year, and the reason why I haven't gone there is because it's too expensive. Literally, it's cheaper for me or my girlfriend to come all the way to Tsushima sometimes than it is to stay in the hotels. Because for a weekend, I mean, I've struggled to find anything under 30,000 yen, which is just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. In fact, I dread to think how much it would be if I tried to book for this weekend for Fukuoka, the last weekend in the summer holidays, because, oh baby, it is a lot. And the hotel qualities there, not overly great. Fukuoka, I think, is a lovely city, but when it comes to hotels there, it's just a bit meh. But in fact, yeah, I just looked now for if I want to stay Friday to Sunday, the first site that come up is 42,000 yen, 43,000 yen. There's an Appa, which is not in the town centre, 30,000 yen, 60,000 yen, 45,000 yen. Oh my god. Honestly, it's just ridiculous for the weekend. I was spoilt when I first came here because of COVID. The hotel prices were about 20,000 yen, which isn't cheap, but it's reasonable. That I don't mind paying 20,000 yen for a hotel, but once it gets up to 50,000 yen, oh man. And these hotels are not good hotels. They piss me off. They really do. For a capsule hotel, for one person, 40,000 yen. Ouch. No thank you. I don't think I'll be going to Fukuoka anytime soon. The cost of hotels absolutely through the roof, and this bubble is gonna burst. And this is the worst thing about it, that at the moment Japan is the hot new place, but in 5, 6 years, will it be the same? I don't know. I don't know. I think certainly domestic tourism has changed or is changing. This is the interesting thing. Like coming to Toshima, um, it's actually cheaper for people, for Japanese people, to fly to Korea and have a vacation in Korea than it is for them to come to Toshima. I mean, this is going to happen all throughout Japan. Maybe it's good. Maybe people will start traveling outside of Japan, but this doesn't help Japanese people at all. Let me tell you that. It certainly does not. But there we go. Our next news story coming out of Japan is about vintage clothes and how the price of them is going absolutely through the roof, and how younger people really like buying secondhand clothes in Japan. And the price of the stuff, oh my god, Lord, some of them is just ridiculous. There's some t-shirts here that have gone on for sale for 800,000 yen in some stores for vintage clothes. I mean, oof, I don't I don't see it. Like I go to Second Street sometimes and look at the clothes, and I'm just like, why would I pay this for that? There was a Liverpool sports jacket, and it had a cigarette hole in the top, and that was going for like 10,000, 20,000 yen for damaged clothes. I was like, I can go and buy a brand new Liverpool shirt for that. A lot of the stuff in the secondhand stores make no sense to me, especially the secondhand shoes. That's where I'm like, why would I buy these shoes which are like completely tattered, they're ruined, and they're still like 3, 4,000 yen? It's nice if you're doing like TV work. I think trying to buy the clothes, you can get some good costumes for it, but I just can't justify it. And they're saying how more of these stores have been popping up. And let me tell you something, there is no shortage of secondhand clothing stores in Japan. But personally, for most of the stuff, I would rather buy new. Yeah, I don't see it. But someone explain to me why are they so popular here, and what's the reason? You do find some cool, like wacky clothes in them, which you don't normally see in the stores, but yeah, I couldn't justify. I can't. I mean, it's got to be, for me to feel I'm getting my money's worth. It's got to be at least half of what I would pay for something new, unless it's like maybe a cool vintage sports clothes, you know, like a Liverpool shirt from 20 years ago. Then I can kind of see it. That's kind of rare, but otherwise, no. But vintage clothes in Japan, if that's what you're into, hey, come over. You do find some very cool stuff, let me tell you that. But talking about very, very cool stuff is robot delivery drivers. So Japan are looking at creating, this is Yamamoto, which is probably, at least from what I've seen going around Japan, probably the biggest delivery company that's around. I might be mistaken, but that's the one that I see the most when I'm out and about in different places. What you will find that they're trying to do is get these like delivery carts, like a drone sort of thing on wheels, that can go to apartment buildings and deliver all sorts of different packages. I think these are cool. It is going to take away jobs from people, which I don't particularly like. And I actually think a delivery driver is one of the few jobs which is probably somewhat good for you, right? You're outside, you're having to walk around different places, you're having to carry packages. Some of them get a little bit ridiculous, but it's like a good physical job if that's what you're into. And they're looking at making these robots to do it for you. So we'll see. They're looking at making these little robots available from the end of 2026. So soon you'll have a robot delivering your package. Is it good? Is it bad? It's interesting. I think that it's only going to be in a few places. Excuse me. When they trial it in Tokyo, but interesting nonetheless. Robots delivering your packages. AI is coming, and there's going to be no jobs for anyone. And all these companies are going to go, no one's buying my stuff anymore. I don't get it. Oh, it's because there's no jobs for people anymore. What are we going to do? Honestly, these AI jobs, are they being replaced? Like, who's replacing them? That's what I want to know. The world is becoming a very, very scary place. It certainly is. But our next news story for you, coming out from the old Nihon, is about pandas. And there was a town which had 2 pandas inside of it, and it was a very busy tourist place because of these pandas. People would go and see them and check them out. This is Adventure World, and they got rid of the pandas 2 months ago. And since then, they have found that their town is 10,000 people less because of these pandas. So they're trying to find new ways to get people to come and see them. And all the people in the town are going, woe is me, we got rid of the pandas, we need the pandas. But the mayor's like, yeah, we need to find a new way to make people from coming to see our town. So, interesting. Pandas are exciting. I do like a panda, I certainly do. But there we go. I've got one more news story for you today. Of course, it being the weekend, there's not so many news as there is. And it's about teaching. So there's been a lot of problems recently in the news. You might have seen them about teachers getting up to mischief against their students, doing things that they shouldn't be doing, touching them, making all sorts of inappropriate comments and things like that. And because of this, there was a thing that was put out to the school boards asking them whether they were considering putting security cameras inside of the classrooms to stop this from happening. And 80% of the school boards have said that they are not looking at doing this, and the ones that said yes to looking at it, they were more like, we're considering it, we're looking at the pros and cons. Personally, as a teacher, I don't know if I'd feel overly comfortable with a security camera in the room while I'm teaching. I don't like it, but yeah, I wouldn't like it, and I'm glad the school boards aren't considering it at the moment. They are much better ways, I think, to stop these sort of things going on. Japan is particularly poor at dealing with accusations of sexual misconduct by teachers. I've seen it here. They are very, very shit in it. It's probably one of the worst things that Japan have done. There are certainly teachers out in Japan who shouldn't be teaching. That's my opinion. There's a few that I definitely know shouldn't be teaching here in Japan, and there we go. They just need to be better at dealing with accusations and reports, and quicker at firing, I think. If you get a few accusations from a few different people, that should be it. Bang, you should be gone. And also put on leave during like a full investigation, because there's been some cases that I've heard of where teachers just get away with murder from doing it, and they should have been gone. And the frustrating thing is a lot of the teachers will be like, yeah, we know about him, we tried to report him and it didn't go anywhere, the school board did nothing. Or there's many cases where people will report teachers, and those people who report them will end up getting fired because they're seen as like troublemakers, and they don't want the story hitting the news and hitting the press, because they don't want the whole school getting in trouble, instead of just sacking the bad person. It's awful, absolutely awful. The Japanese education system isn't good. And if you don't take my word for it, go look at a bunch of other YouTubers who have maybe worked in schools and had accusations of it, and just read the news, because these sort of things happen all the time. It certainly could be a lot better. I am not happy with the state of it. That's all I can say. There we go. But I am glad there's no security cameras going in. I think there's better ways to deal with it, and security cameras isn't the one. I would feel a little bit uncomfortable teaching under a security camera. Don't know why. I think you'd always be worried about what you're saying, and it's a little bit too big brother. We should be able to trust teachers a little bit, and they should be trusted to manage themselves. That's what I will say. But that's the end of our Japanese news for today. That's the end of the podcast. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.